Everybody, you know what it is. It's your boy Big Bootsie, and this is...
What's up? It's Jina Law.
Beautiful Jina Law. Welcome to Street Knowledge Podcast. You know, we got a good treat for y'all today. Something real nice, man. This is our first episode, man.
Yep.
Are you excited?
I'm definitely excited. I think we about to make history, man. What you talking about?
Yes.
Definitely.
As y'all know, this is our first one. The last one was a practice run, but so we got so much good feedback. And you know, I like to thank everybody for supporting it and showing us love. We got a lot of treats coming up for y'all, episode after episode, man. So, once again, you know how we do. I haven't seen you. It's been probably, a week and some change
We've
now.
been working, definitely.
Move making. What you been doing? I see you bought this right here.
Yeah, so definitely still working on my Black Power line.
I'm loving it.
Black Queens, we cover you. We also have the Black Kings, we cover you.
So when you say we cover you, who do y'all cover? Who do
So
Black
us
Queens
as
cover?
Black Queens, we are covering our Black Kings.
Okay.
And vice versa. You know, like we just want to continue to empower our community and just show our support for our Black Kings and Queens.
I'm loving that. So y'all make sure y'all take heed to that. You know, women out there that don't support their kings and thinking that, you know, the king just supposed to be there for you. It's, you know, the man's supposed to take care of the woman. Now, don't get it twisted, but you know, that little extra help can, you know, help you as well. So me, myself, I've been, as you know, doing the restaurant thing.
Yeah.
So you've been saying we should do a taping down there.
So that's really what I think we should do. I think that since you're going to do the chefs, we should do like a judge off and like make it part of the show.
Right.
You know, just to, you know, show everybody the restaurant.
Right. I
Some
think
things
that's a great idea. And guess what? We definitely gonna do that. We're gonna schedule for that. That's why I like working with you, because you're a thinker. That helps me put myself in position to think. But yeah, everything's coming along very well with that. I just had a fire inspection, so they told us we had to get the hood professionally clean. But I was up there scrubbing. I got all the grease out, it's shining pretty. I'm thinking I've done something.
Right.
That little man walked up in there and was like, nah, y'all gotta get it professionally clean. You see them numbers right there? This was the last time it was clean. Once you get them numbers, scrape that off, put a new update on there, and I'm gonna sign off for y'all. So
Okay.
I'm getting ready to get that done. And then we gonna eat some good food.
That's right.
and
Charlotte,
have a
y'all
good
got
time.
something special coming.
That's right, got something real special. We're gonna have jazz. I wanna do, you know, the grown man thing. I wanna have some jazz, playing some live bands. You know, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Ain't always gonna be, and then I'll get a DJ too. Now, don't get it twisted, but he's gonna play the right type of music, because this is a family restaurant, but I want people to come and enjoy themselves.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, let's get to the point. I got
Special guest.
I got a real special guest. He's very well loved in the
Yes.
community. He does a lot of things for the community.
Definitely.
He's
Legend, an icon.
Exactly. I've known him for, 20 plus something years.
Wow.
I watched the man start from scratch
Wow.
all the way up to the moon. He's like all the way there. It doesn't get no better than this, man. So we had to start our first one with him and make history with this man himself,
Yes.
my homie, Brian Dawson, man. Let's go.
Definitely.
Hey, what's up?
Good to see you.
Give you some love,
What's up,
some
man?
COVID love. How you
Yes,
doing, man?
Yes. Everything good.
Oh, it's an honor, man, to be on y'all first show.
Yes, man. I appreciate you.
I ain't even know y'all two knew each other.
Oh, man. Man,
I usually connect power brokers, man. So I'm glad that y'all two doing this right here.
Well, me and her met. You want to explain how we met?
No, you go ahead and explain it.
Well, when we bought Dame down
Yeah.
here, we was running crazy through the town, and she know a friend, mutual friend as well as I do. So you know, we was pushing the liquor, the Dusco. I'm sorry I don't have it for y'all, but it will be back. The Dusco
Yes, it
wine
will.
and the Dusco whiskey. So she hit me up and was asking me, can she help us promote? And I'm like, shoot, why not? And I got her a bottle, and she went and took pictures, did everything on her own. She didn't ask us for no money. She didn't ask for nothing. So I'm like, a person like that is powerful. I need that on my team. So she started promoting, and long story short, the liquor took off with the things we was doing, her, you know, I got to give everybody their props, man. The liquor and wine, it went to the moon. So now, you know, he's making noise. We ain't in North Carolina yet, but we're going to get it here. So that's how me and her met, and she always just been a supportive person of whatever we did. So I like to try to stick close with people like that, you know, such as yourself. So, anything you want to ask my brother while we...
Definitely, like, so, you know, you and I met just because of community stuff. Like,
Right.
I have a passion for the community, and you do as well. But I want to know, like, how did that even start with you? Because when I say you're passionate, like, you out here hustling and bustling and getting it.
Right.
Wow. Man, just first of all, I just want to make sure we give y'all two the credit on this first show, man. This is amazing what y'all doing. The city need this. And what I like about y'all is like not just locally, y'all got like a national vibe. Like y'all know people outside this market. So what y'all can do for the city is big, man, by bringing faces and attention and creating this platform and doing it right out here in the area, man. So I'm behind y'all, whatever I can do.
Right.
It's just exciting to see y'all two connect. But yeah, man, I've been, you know, my community has always been my thing.
Right.
I got on the radio, but I'm just me. I mean, that's just it. I just don't know no other way to do it but be me, man. So
Well, can I get a little deep then? We can go back from when me and you first met, like we was talking earlier. It was what, 97.
okay.
You don't kind of remember too much of it, but I'm gonna get you up to speed.
Now I did my first event in '95, right? So that's when I first was starting. I did a hair show in 1995.
Oh, wow.
Right, but I was hearing about that stuff later once.
I remember when you
actually
got in town.
here.
Everybody was
Right.
like, "You got to meet this guy right here." I remember that part.
Right.
No
That's
question.
when I was a rapper then. Exactly.
'97.
And remember you was doing your cable show.
That's right.
Can you give us to enlighten us on what made you want to get into doing the cable show?
Wow, man. And see, that's what's hard about talking to friends because the conversation can go so many places. So y'all just got to steer it to where it need to go.
Right.
But 95, you know, I'm out of grad school. I got my little master's degree. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with myself. And I'm sitting around the house in D.C. I was staying in D.C. with my roommate.
Right.
And a friend of mine picked me up. And I went riding around with him during the course of the day. And so at the end of the day, he was coming out of hair salons with money.
Right.
So
Wow.
I'm like, man, I know he ain't robbing nobody. What is he doing? I mean, the stack growing and growing. So
Right.
at the end of the day, he was like, man, I'm about to do a hair show. So at the time, I'm thinking, what is a hair show? People go get their hair done? So he explained it to me.
Right.
So the next day when he came to pick me up, he was like, B, you ain't doing nothing. You want to work with me for, you know, the show's in about 2 weeks. And I was like, yeah, let me work. So by the end of the day, I started to realize and think, and I said, look, man, I'm going to work, but you ain't got to pay me.
Right.
This true story. And I was like, I don't want a dime. So he was like, cool, I'm going to get some free labor. I'm like, yeah. But I said, but what you got to do is answer every question I have for you.
Right.
So I was a career college student. I went to Walmart, got me a notebook, pen and paper. I would ask him question after question after question. I worked for him for 2 weeks. I took that hair show, brought it down to Durham.
Smart.
My dad was big.
Right.
Rest in peace, Mercy D. That's
Rest
my
in-
dad.
yes.
And so he already was big in the hair world. So I used his name to get to salons and barbershops.
Smart.
I hit him for about 60, 70, and spent everything. So by the time I saw you, I was back broke again because, see, I'd never had money before.
Right.
So fast forward to 97, I'm starting to figure out I got to do something every week to make money.
Right.
Because, you know, I'm first generation of wealth, I guess, because my dad, he moved here, but he learned how to advance himself. He didn't really learn how to advance me. So
remember
that's
your
what
dad.
our generation is
God
doing.
bless him.
Yeah.
His barber
So
shop is around the corner.
I never had money. I played college basketball.
I
So
remember that.
I lived off
They
of
said you
Pell
was
Grants.
actually good at that. Man, like you
But
could
I
have
could
went
go
somewhere.
now. Believe that
Yeah,
now.
I've heard.
And now that nobody out there can prove that, I can keep talking about that.
Right. I've heard. They
But,
said you could have actually went pro.
Yeah,
if
I
you'd
was.
stayed
You know what
there.
my problem was? I shot the ball too much. Like I just was gunner. But anyway, so I used sports, my college degree. I turned it into the hair show. But from there, I had to figure out how to make money. So that's when I met you around that time where I started doing weekly parties.
Right. Okay.
So then I got into the weekly party aspect of the game right then when I met
Right.
you.
And I used to look at your parties and I'd be like, this guy hardly promotes, but he be everywhere with flyers, but the parties be jam-packed. Like, so that means you had genuine love. And I actually seen that from your audience, man. You always had a genuine love. And you was a brother that I watched also. I used to do parties in New York, but I had to actually learn this market as well. You know what I'm saying? So we've done some things together. You
Yeah.
actually let me collaborate with you.
You sure have.
To help put some money in my pocket. That's why I always respected you and my boy Keith, your uncle. That's my uncle.
Yeah.
That nobody don't know. So, but As soon as he see me at the doors, whoever you with, come
Bootsie
on
here,
in.
Bootsie here,
And it don't
VIP.
matter. Everybody else, the door is stop after that, you know? So, but yeah, I've always admired how you did things. Like, you was a person that inspired me as well, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because you know me, I was still a little bit out there in them streets at that time. But I was still trying to learn how to maneuver, because I know one day I'm not going to be in these streets, and I needed to learn, you know, to have the type of money that I'm used to having. So, but I watched you do your thing. And do you remember, well, I know you remember, but the blue chips when you...
Wow.
Boy, we got
Tobacco Roadhouse,
history
Blue
in
Chips.
that.
And you coming from New York, like, I don't feel like I got like a morsel of hustle compared to you and what y'all do up there. So hearing that from you, growing up in a place of hustle, means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
one, I appreciate you because I watched you change so many different ways. From, like you said, being an MC. I'm sure people don't probably
Right.
remember when you used to put your records out.
Right.
But just, I watched you, and then to follow this young lady on Instagram is like you get a headache because she's doing so much good stuff.
Right.
So for you
Exactly.
guys to actually think I'm doing that means a lot, man. It does.
No, you are definitely inspiration. I
It means
mean,
a lot.
from family life to
Exactly.
what you're doing in the community
Mm-hmm.
to what me watching, you know, your son. I mean, like, if you're not an inspiration, I don't even know
Well,
what it
but
is.
you
It's
know,
just
like
amazing.
the cool thing about like me being at my age is that like we started a lot of things that people see now. Because I look at even like the community thing, like when I talk about 15th annual, 18th annual, and to see so many people now do it and then come back, because I talked to Coach Moten today from Central. He had a big food giveaway today.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And he kept telling me watching me inspired him to do that. Because I remember when I first started like doing cuts for kids, back to school drives, it was none.
Right.
So now everybody do it, and so now I actually kind of take a back seat.
So you like the pioneer.
I mean, in a way, I mean, I was just one of the
Right.
first ones that really, you know,
Yeah.
before it became, now when social media hit, it became more in vogue, but to watch people do it now is amazing to me.
Yes, a lot of
So,
people.
I mean, literally, I couldn't even do my back to school because there's so many of them. I'm like, well, let me just go support somebody.
Yeah.
Let me go and be the voice to it.
But let's don't forget when you first started the get on the truck for the Christmas drive.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, man.
You would actually get on that truck and don't get off until
Yeah.
it's filled up.
It was called Stuff the Bus.
Stuff the bus.
And I
That's-
lived on the bus. No shower,
Wow.
7-8 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was real deal.
Until it got stuffed.
Yeah.
If it didn't get stuffed, he still.
Now
was
back
in
then you
on
could
the-
do that kind
on
of
the-
stuff.
on the-
Nowadays it'd be a little harder, but yeah. So you know, one good thing, you know, as I get towards the end of my radio side is to realize what you'll be known for.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I'm kind of probably the most proud of is people do associate me with that, you know. And there's so much more I could do, and there's so much more I gotten credit for that I probably didn't do. But I'll take it all, cause you know,
Right,
I'll
yeah.
take it.
Why not?
Right.
It is what it is. That's the one thing I do hate is when, you know, we don't get the credit for the things that we deserve, because people out there really need to hear the things that other people should get the credit for. Meaning, I should give this person credit because now when these people that follow me hear about this person, it will inspire them to do something. So you don't hold back from a person. That's why
Right.
me introducing you, I had to introduce you the proper way.
That's right.
No, and I
And
appreciate
I'm
that.
trying to think of some more stuff because I know it's plenty more. It's gonna
Hey
come
B,
back to
when
me.
we came through at a period where I'm telling you, we really are, and you used the word pioneer. I remember being in Atlanta, seeing my first color flyer. Now flyers don't even hardly exist in physical form no more.
Right.
Right.
But at the time, I remember when I saw my first one, I was like, this gonna change the game. And I waited long as I could before I brought a color flyer in the city.
Right.
So I did the first color flyer, which they were doing it in Atlanta, but
Right.
I kept doing the paper flyer, and I was like, when I
Paper
do this,
flyer.
I can't go back.
Right.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's where we've been placed in this game, and it's amazing.
Wow. That's
Right?
deep.
Yeah.
That's very deep. 'Cause
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
I definitely just remember paper flyers. So you was the culprit that started.
I put a color flyer out there
And changed the game
I knew
around
it. The
here.
market wouldn't come around. Now, I mean, of course, I would have to prove that I did that, but I remember because I was a student of the
can
game.
pretty much remember all that. I remember paper flyers when just coming here to
Mm-hmm.
Bull City. And I opened my studio downtown. And you used to come through, paper flyers. You remember I used to come through and interview Big L, God bless the
Yeah.
dead,
And
for
I
your
would,
TV show.
man, we needed like pictures. And back then, there was no pictures of video of some of this stuff.
okay.
Because some of the stories that we tell now, like you ever told a story, and I'm sure Bootsie probably get this a lot being from New York, and you almost feel like you're lying. Like when I tell my Biggie story,
Right.
like I feel like I'm lying because I was there. I was there at
Right.
a moment in
Right.
history, and that's what we can say about us. Like we
Right.
was there, man. So with these, and what we see these young folks do now, like they don't understand how we look at them because we really been there, done that.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
when you look at an artist now, you've been there and our side. You
Exactly.
ran labels, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's an amazing feeling.
So what you think that we, we should tell our youth as far as sticking to something that they like to do? What do you think? Should they stick to it or should they try something else?
See,
Or
you
should
know,
they
I
do
tell
it all
them
at
that
one time?
I tell them all the time when I go speak to them, man. They got more pressure than we had. I mean, they got a library. I used to have to go to the library.
Right.
They got a library in their hand.
Right.
You know.
Right.
With
So-
Google.
for anything.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, but that brings more pressure because now the pressure to excel is even higher because you got more opportunities to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell them first get off Instadevil. I don't even call it Instagram anymore.
Right.
I mean,
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, you gotta because it makes you lose focus and it makes you
Cheat sheet.
compare yourself to other people.
Other people.
And you know what I don't like doing? Like when I'm texting somebody and it auto change, but sometimes it auto change for the correct word. I like to spell my words all the way out. I don't want it to auto change for me because I don't want to get in tune with having that spell for me. I want to be able to still spell. I want to do the things that we used to do that we didn't have technology to do for us. That's the problem with our kids too. They being lazy because it's being flat out done for them now.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And it's crazy. They sit home all day and just be on the video games all day. I don't get it. Now, if you're doing that to make a career out of it, I hope so. But I don't see too many careers. I see people winning 30,000 here, 20,000 there. But I think it's really, Insta-devil. I might have to use that terminology. I like that.
I have to get away from it at times because it does. I don't care who you are, it sucks you into that world of
Comparison.
Yeah, and that's the thief of joy, man. And you got to find your own lane, what you like to do. I use you as another example. You do so much. You do so much. And that's what you got to do now. You have to have multiple streams. Like COVID taught us that. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I didn't know I'd be pushing food trucks. You know,
Yeah,
in
I didn't
2020.
Yeah.
Jenna told me. I said, "Well, my boy ain't got a food truck now. What are you gonna do next?"
I market about 8 food trucks now.
She told me.
Because it started with what, like 2, right?
I started with 2, yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, that's a power.
total
move.
reinvention
Yeah,
of
done it
myself.
again. I'm loving that.
But yeah, man. So yeah, you got to be versatile out here now. So like I said, I mean, you're gonna see a whole lot of ingenuity now with these kids because of what's going on now, because the opportunities. So it's never gonna probably go back to how easy it was just to even live off the party life like it used to be.
Right,
Because
right.
everything changing now.
Everything. Do you still got the club? You still?
Yeah, we still open, man. I mean, we're not open, but we still got it. Got a couple grants that kind of took care of the bills to keep it going. But
Okay.
I'm
That's a
still in the
blessing.
process of trying to figure out myself too, being what I really want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
COVID for me was a big lesson of learning myself. And one word that keeps playing in my mind is freedom.
Right.
Freedom to move, freedom to
Right.
make decisions, free to reconnect and reinvent myself.
Right.
In different
Okay.
ways. I got the
Right.
big chest tattoo. I always wanted one.
Right.
Got my arm done.
No
Like I'm
doubt.
just feeling myself now, and I'm growing. I'm learning.
Exactly.
And I'm realizing even at my age, like it's never too late to do the things that you really, really kind of want to do. You got to go
Right.
get it, man.
No doubt. So, speaking of trucks, if you don't know, because we talk here and there, but I'm doing the truck thing as well. I got 2 18-wheelers trying to hopefully have a fleet
See what I'm
of
talking
them.
about? You can't keep up with this guy right
You know
here.
what I'm saying? So you can call me an essential worker. Keep the trucks rolling to get things to the people, So I've been doing that as well, man. But it is definitely good to keep doing more than one thing. And, if one thing failed, then you got something else to fall back on,
Yeah.
And sometimes what I do want to say to people, don't be afraid to try and do what you want to do. Because even if you fail, you didn't fail, you learned something.
Yes, right.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I failed, I said, I'm going to do it even better. I'm going to
Right.
go back and do it again. I ain't going to just give up unless it's just all dead ends. But at least I
Yeah.
tried. Now I know I can go do something else,
I mean, inspirations draw off each other. Like I get energy from y'all. Like I don't see you on Instagram much. Are you?
Yeah, I'm up there. I think
Yeah,
you
I don't know if I follow
each other.
Bootsie.
Yeah.
But I definitely see her. But I see what you do too, because I've been watching you from day one. Like I won't see Bootsie for 6 months, and he just appear. Everything be where it's supposed to be, and he be on a whole nother level. Then every time he's gotten something, he's brought it back to me. When he brought Dame in town, he brought Dame towards me. I mean, that's just the kind of guy he been, man. Put him right on my show, got me on BET. People calling me from all over the country. B, you interviewed Dave on BET. But it was all his mastermind. Like he totally did that. And I think I pulled him aside probably around last time I saw you at Hive one time around or New Orleans. And I said, B, man, I just want you to know how much I appreciate you.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
funny
your
you said giving people flowers because I was thinking like, you know, when you do what we do, like, it breeds a lot of jealousy, animosity. It breeds a lot, you know what I'm saying? And some warranted, some not, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but I feel like most people who meet me to get to know me, I think those people generally can deal with me. Like, I'm hard to deal with because I'm so aggressive and I want to do a lot of things, and I do a lot of competitive things. But what I told B that time, I was like, man, me and you have done some things together. We went like this, but I'm going to tell you, man, you've always been the same dude, man. And I respect them because the streets can divide you and make you think we competition, make you think we competition.
But we're not.
Right.
And we not, man.
Not at all.
I had to tell people in the community, like they trying to outdo my event. I'm like, man, guess what? That means everybody winning, man.
That's
Like,
right.
this is what it's supposed to be. That's the competition, so
Right.
we not. It's not like that, man. We all got room to shine, man.
But like he and I was talking about that one time before, like we have been kind of brought from time ago to kind of have that whole thought process that we're in competition with each other. You know what I'm saying? And we just, because we know that, we have to now proceed differently than what we were, you know, than what we were taught. We have to understand that we're not competition.
Man, we can
That
make
if we
so
come
much more together
That's
than
right.
separated.
If we come together.
And that's what I always say is like, I don't care if my friend or my partner made 100,000 and I just got 10,000. I don't care. I can buy the same thing that person could get, but I'll take my 10,000 and try and make me 100,000.
Right.
But I'm still gonna have fun and ball out. Or if you keep your 100,000 up, I'm taking you out to eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that energy and this real negative energy is real. So if that's what you bring to yourself, that's what's gonna eventually happen. And not only that, I can't make money without friends. So if I'm sitting around thinking I'm gonna get all the money and then everybody else is just supposed to be up under me, eat when I eat, or no, I want to argue about who paying for the plate this time.
That's right.
You paid last, it's my turn to pay. You arguing back, well,
And
I
that's true
got you
leadership.
again.
You know what I'm saying? That's true leadership.
That's what we worry about. That's what I like to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a lot of us like-minded people out there, you know, because I even think back to when I was putting out like a lot of my community stuff, and Jen hit me on my inbox. You know, other than trying to figure out who's this beautiful girl in my inbox, it's like, oh, look, I'm trying to, you about community, I'm about community. Boom. I look for people like that. Because those are people that inspire me, you know, because I do a project with somebody and I'm sitting there like, oh, Brian Dawson fed people. But there's so many people around me who did more than I did. I'm just the voice, the platform. I bring the radio station, whatever. But I look at people like her and I'm like, man, that's what makes me want to keep doing it, because she doing it from the heart. Ain't getting no real credit, but she like me. She's always hit me, man. What we doing? What we doing? What's going on? So
Me too. Always hit me. And that's what made me like, man, I need a good co-host, man. If I'm gonna do this, I gotta do it right. And the only person I could think of is her. It's a lot of females that I'm friends with as well, and very cool, very smart people. But I know that that's not their lane. Something like this.
Man, I think
lane.
it's a beautiful connection, man. Y'all can go a lot of places.
Thank you.
One thing I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit too about, make sure we getting this word out about this election and
Definitely.
voting, man. What's going on with Donald Trump, man? He is tripping, ain't it?
We have ballots even at the salon because we do have to get, I mean, people got to vote.
So how do y'all feel? Y'all feel like we energized enough as a community with the Black Lives Movement? I mean, do y'all feel like we still a little asleep right now?
I
What y'all
think we're a
feel?
little sleep still. I really do, and it's kind of, it has me a little bothered because I'm afraid that if we don't really get motivated and stay motivated and keep up the momentum, then we're gonna get lost. And he's gonna get another 4 years. And our life really depends on it.
So
I mean,
you think the COVID was the a throw off to try to get him back in?
Man, he's the most amazing figure of our lifetime. I don't think we've been close to seeing anybody like him.
Yeah, he's slick. I ain't never heard a president can say, I'll grab
Whatever
her,
he wanna say.
you know,
and do
she
whatever you
liked
want to
it,
do.
and she this and that, and it was recorded, and people still liked him as a candidate.
I just like to see us as a people get more enlightened and just, you know, I mean, but don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm down all the way with the police stuff. I mean, it's really brutal, but at the same time, we need to address our black on black issues.
Exactly.
I mean, we know white people kill white people at a higher rate than black people kill black people. We get that, but we're still doing it.
Right.
And it's still accepted in our community, man. And
we're
I like
doing
to see
it for stupidity.
Yeah.
And there's still no right way of, you know, to kill a person, or a wrong way to kill a person. Shouldn't be done at all, you know. But our kids have no. We had talked about this one time, but our kids don't have no more leadership. All our leaders, such as yourself, myself, we not even thinking in that path right now. But that's one of the reasons why we created this podcast so we can try to talk to the youth. Hopefully they listen.
Yeah.
Maybe one listen. We'll get one this year. Next year, if the podcast keep going and going, we'll get another one. So all the other leaders are either dead or in jail. You know, they've been in the gangs and probably still into the gangs, but they don't exploit that. You'll go up the street, kill this person. You know, I know a lot of positive gang members that ain't doing that no more. But the young youth saying, I ain't listening to him for what?
Right.
He ain't talking about
Man,
nothing.
and that's a good topic to jump on even with these youth, man. Like, and what do we do to get their attention to make them understand what's going on?
Besides rapping.
Right. And throwing the ball in the hole or something like that, right?
I mean, we're going to have to get strategic because this is a different generation and a different breed, and they don't think anything like we think. Like, you know,
That's
what
what's
I'm saying? They don't
killing
even
our
reverence.
votes.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what's
well,
killing
I
our
don't know
votes.
because looking at the millennials, they to me are more progressive on wanting to vote.
That's a good thing. Well, at least the good
You
ones.
know,
Then
like
you got some
looking at
wake up.
statistics,
Right.
like they are really out here wanting to see, you know, us voting, and they're pushing the vote. And
Then you got some that just wake up and stand on the corner all day. And that's being done a lot. And that's the sad part. And not only that, another thing is what's killing us is they're locking out black people. I'm gonna just say black because they locking some white people up too. But the majority locking up is our black people and don't even catch them with drugs. They have a law that you can sell drugs and your friend tell on you, and the longer it takes, year 2, 3, the more extensive your time gonna be.
Right.
So they giving people life without even catching them with drugs. But then they'll have a white person shoot somebody, kill him. They don't kill him in the process of going to lock him up. He get locked up comfortably, give him some water to drink before they take him downtown. And then he get a couple years to come home.
yeah,
So locking us up for 30 years, 20 years, life, whatever, that's really killing us without catching us with no drugs.
That's right.
And even if they caught us with drugs, still shouldn't be that much time. So that's hurtful. That's really hurting us right now. So that's what's killing our votes.
yeah.
So what you think about Biden as our president now?
I mean, obviously anybody but him and Kanye, but besides Trump and Kanye. I mean, it's rough, man. It's just Biden is a good choice. Don't get me wrong. I ain't got no problem with Biden. I mean,
Right.
I like to see a little more energy out of him. But it's hard with COVID for him to really get out and get going.
You know he created the 3-strike law.
Yes.
He wrote it and Clinton passed it.
Right.
And Clinton, you know, got on TV and said he apologized. He shouldn't have done that. He didn't, at the time, recognize, you know, how much of a tragic situation it could be as far as taking people away from their families with that 3-strike law. So what we gonna do about that? Is there a way we can vote that out? Or you think that's just gonna be something in the system forever?
I mean, just to piggyback to what you're saying, but slide it over back to the BLM movement. Like, what I like the most about it is that economic freedom and understanding. Because when you talk about these kids, you want to get their attention, show them how they can do and be somebody. That's what the gang members are showing them. We got to show them the same thing. As a person who stay in front of these kids and kids that I've been hearing all this stuff about, like I go to certain schools, I ain't gonna name them, and this a bad school and all these kids, but these kids, they want to touch something real.
Right.
Like they want to see, like it's okay, pull up in that car, show them what you can make if you do this and if you can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that's what one of the big problems is right now is that we're not attacking them and showing them other alternatives, economic alternatives. You know, because I take my son, like I've been on him since he was 1 at understanding how to do this, how to do that, taught him how to do certain things. We all got to reach back, not to just our kids, but these kids around us and set that example and say, this is what you can be if you go do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think our push got to be. And that's what I'm hoping that comes out of this movement. But I'm going to tell you, man, with the way things going with this COVID, man, Donald Trump flying right into these rural areas for a reason. You notice he don't come to Raleigh? You ain't even seen him. He go right to Wilmington. And look how many people there.
Wasn't he just in Charlotte?
They had the convention, but he was in Charlotte quick. But he hang around them rural areas where his vote, and them people go there, and they very energized to vote.
Right.
So we got to use our platforms between now and November to get people to go out to these posts. Because this election right here could change a whole lot, man. If we get 4 more years of this dude, it's going to be some problems.
So we need to do some segments also as we go along, you know, get some little kids and sit them here on the couch and talk to them and ask them what they want to be and show them some things that we've done. And
Now I'm going to tell you this. I mean, BT, I've interviewed, we can get into some of the interviews and things I've done with my life, but I'm going to tell you, man, what I've been known the most about since I've been on the radio, what I get the most, somebody will walk up to me and say one thing: "You came to my school."
Right. And I'll be hearing you on the radio. I would like to shout out the principal.
That's the most. I'm telling you that. And I tell young radio people this all the time because they think, "Oh, I got to get on the radio, sing a break. I got to interview Jay-Z and all." Okay, all that's cool.
Right.
But you got to go get in front of these kids.
Put some work in too to the community.
Man.
I agree. So yeah, you got to write that one down on our to-do list.
Definitely.
Y'all gotta get out to these schools. These kids need us, man. This is an important time. Obviously, we can't do much now with COVID, but when it's time to get back out there, man, get in that front line with them kids and talk to them and take this out there so they can see it.
So speaking of that, Brian, like for me, I'm not saying COVID is not real, right? I believe it's definitely 100% a virus. We know that it has killed so many people. But I feel like for us, especially as a community, we cannot allow that to keep us from still attacking the problem. We still need to be out here with these kids. And we still need to, because see, sometimes I think part of it's real, right? But the other part is like a whole illusion to try to make us detour from what we're supposed to be doing as a community. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like, and that's why I feel like they also said like our community, us as Black people, are dying at a higher rate.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, okay, we may be dying at a higher rate and we may have a higher disposition for other illnesses that's causing COVID to kill us, right? But at the same instance, you taking one person and every time they test positive for COVID, you saying that's another person. So you are also padding the numbers. So it's some things that we as a community need to get the knowledge of so we won't live in fear, but we'll just live and empowerment so we can still be out here as a village supporting our children and getting this vote.
I think you hit it on the head. Like, think about it though when you look at the bigger picture. So there's an illness that's out here that attacks people worse with pre-existing conditions. We have a community of our people having pre-existing conditions, so it goes back to us learning how to take care of ourselves to fight off these kind of situations. You know what I'm saying? So, because like just getting COVID won't kill you, but if you already got other issues going on,
that's the part.
Plus COVID,
people with bronchitis, asthma,
diabetes,
it hurts them real bad.
So your diet has got to be correct.
So you know what I've been thinking though? So I was sitting down the other day talking with my brother, and I'm saying now it's starting to look like it's shifting towards them getting a vaccine, right? So I'm like, okay, when we get the vaccine, it's like they want to keep it around now. So now you got the common cold, you got the flu. So now I'm thinking they trying to add COVID to the list of to be in our life forever.
Well, it is going to probably be.
But it's a dangerous, flu kill people too, but it's not. But they say flu killed more people than the COVID. But you don't hear about it as much. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like I don't know if COVID was put here for a reason, or once it got here, they started to figure out once we contain it, we might could just keep it here and make money off the vaccine.
That's interesting. It's money to be made off that vaccine.
Exactly. Especially now, they getting ready. Once that vaccine is actually definitely done, they saying, October, next month?
Will y'all take it when it come out?
Absolutely not.
Have
you ever seen a vaccination? Absolutely not.
I never took a flu shot.
Me either. I've never had the flu, thank you, Jesus, but no.
I've had the flu, but I've cold turkey. That was years ago. But I don't really get sick like that, so I don't know.
Bootsie know how I feel about that vaccination. I feel like...
No.
I'm never taking nothing. They're not putting I'm thinking a chip inside of your body, something. Even though I ain't trying to do nothing to get in trouble where they have to track me anyway, which you never know.
They're tracking us now.
Yeah, they're tracking us.
Yeah, we got phones.
They know exactly everything.
Right, exactly. So, another quick question, man. I always wanted to know, me knowing you as long as I do, what made you transition into radio? Because that was like a hit everybody hard, like, word, my boy on the radio? That's crazy. And when you did it, you mastered it.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, I am celebrating 21 years, but this is what's cool about me. Like, everything I've been doing has kind of been a plan. From basketball, JUCO in Florida. My first degree was Associate in Arts in Radio TV.
Right.
So I got my 4-year degree in Business Communications. So I was on the radio in Florida for like a semester in class. Right. So what I did was I planted that seed. Didn't know I was gonna come back and use it that much. So I've always had the background educationally through that. And then when I came out and I was wanting to have parties, the whole reason for me going to the radio was so that people would know me more to make my parties bigger. That's what it was at first.
Strategy.
Yeah.
Smart.
But I was ahead of the curve, so I got there at a time when radio was about to blow, and it was good to be on the radio. It's not so much as it, because there's so much syndication and giant, companies running now. But I was there when radio was really, to me, at its peak, where you was really like a radio star per se, where you got a lot of perks, did a lot of things for being on the radio.
That's why I said I actually, when you first started, I used to just listen, just to critique.
And it's funny you said it because see, we met in '97. I got on the radio in '99, fall of '99, 2000. So I knew you for a couple years. You saw me running around.
I watched you in
before I even did
transition
it. That's
to
right.
radio.
Wow.
So when I first started hearing you up there, because I go back with Hosey Mack and all them, Wink Moody and all them. So when I heard you up there, and I'm like, at first I sensed nervousness in your voice, but then after that, I just started hearing you just fluently do what you do. And then after that, 21 years later, look where you at, you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that you inspire me to do as far as doing, like being on the mic. I never used to be on the mic. I used to rap on the mic,
right.
But like a crowd motivator, I started learning how to do that. So I can honestly say that you motivated me to do those type of things and inspired of the way you move and position yourself, because it's definitely, I could tell it was a position yourself. Like I watch smart people. That's people such as yourself is how I want to put myself in those type of shoes. So I could never hate, because if you're a hater per se, you'll never learn nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we supposed to draw inspiration from each other. If you don't see somebody that's doing something that you really want to do,
right?
And if it don't, that's what makes you go harder.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I look at you and like you're here talking about you got trucks, man, I don't know nothing about trucks. I love it, but that inspires me to think outside the box. And so I've always been able to draw inspiration from people who. Right. This dude got a nice car, I want that car.
Right.
I ain't the kind of person like I want to take his car. Right. If he can get it, I can get it.
She can myself. Yeah. That's right.
That's right.
And so I don't know why people. So I try to inspire people, because I'm like, if you see me, because I am the average everyday dude. Like you can't get more average than me. I got a strong desire to want to win. That's just
Right.
So I would, even like you, I would consider you way more of a hustler. You know what I'm saying? But I can see you and I'm like, oh, I got a desire to do that. I mean, I want to win so bad, because I've been broke, I've been poor, never going back there.
Right.
I've been there. I used to do parties
being broke is
to
like
pay
having
bills.
The flu.
I ain't going back.
No,
So
like
Sick as
having
hell.
COVID.
Yeah, even worse, right. I don't want to feel that.
No part of
I've
that.
been there before, But I actually grew up, my mom pretty much did good. But like you said, when I see somebody riding by in that nice car, I know my mom came buy that for me. So I got to go out and bust my ass.
Right, and see, I'm from a small city in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So when I moved to
That's where you
Durham,
from?
I'm from, a lot of people don't know that.
No, not at all. See?
But it's a very small
we
town
opening up.
where my dad's generation, they ride bikes.
Right.
Which is why I bought a bike and never ride a bike to this day, because that's what their mode of transportation was. But that motivated me of seeing what I did not want to do and be like, right? So I get to Durham and I see black people with Benzes, businesses. My dad didn't even graduate high school. He had several businesses in downtown Durham.
Wow.
Matter of fact, if he would have, now think about it, this is why I said his generation thought for themselves, but they stood up so we could fly, right? If my dad would have bought one of them buildings downtown, I wouldn't even have to work.
Especially
like them
the
buildings
building,
going for $1,
I
$2,
was
$3
trying
million
to
now.
buy. Do you remember my
He
studio?
leased everything downtown.
You remember my studio you used to come to downtown?
Where was it at?
On Main Street.
On Main Street, that's right, I do remember.
Yeah, he used to come upstairs.
Yeah,
second
I
floor.
remember, yes.
And the guy that owned it, he used to get high on drugs, but he tried to maintain the building. So I was about to buy the building from him. So I didn't know he was all the way in debt. I had lawyers, I had everything lined up, but they took the building from him, man. And I was one of them people that was trying to get it, because back then, them buildings was cheap. You remember at the 5 o'clock?
Oh my God.
Ghost was downtown Durham.
Nobody.
Was a ghost town.
Yes.
You would never know that a city could look like a ghost town at 5 o'clock. I mean, nothing. We was the only thing down there. Your barbershop was right around.
You
the
remember,
corner.
that's right.
Exactly.
So I got lucky and had to, from watching my dad, I bought a house across the street from Central Campus, like right across from the cafeteria.
Oh, wow.
Sat on it for 13 years, and I knew that eventually the school would get it. So they came and got, so but I learned that from my dad, because I kept saying, man, these buildings going for this. My dad was in there. My dad was in that building. My dad was in that.
Right.
So that's what our generation is about, is
Right.
really laying it back,
Right.
you know, for our kids. That's why my
Generational
son's so
wealth.
lazy. I mean, because I'm giving them too much, but
Yeah.
that's what we're here to do, though.
That's how my daughters is, but you know, they go get us. I give them big praise, you know. They doing it big, buying houses, they own houses and stuff like that. But they see
But that's
me
what's
go
gonna break
get
the
it.
cycle. Be us teaching them these
Yes.
things is what's gonna give them better options
Yes.
than
An opportunity.
whoever in the street trying to get them to pull them that way. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You got McDonald's saying come here. You got my man over here with this saying come there. Come
Right.
on, man. You know
Right.
they gonna go there. So we got to put bigger options, better options, more life sustaining options in front of them, and that's what we doing. That's what we doing.
Yeah, I can say I'm fortunate and lucky. They not out there running the streets, whoring, nothing. They went and got their degrees, taking care of themselves. They chilling. So I'm lucky with that. But some kids not fortunate enough for that. You know, my mom, like I said, my mom worked hard. My father was there, held down. They've been together since they was 12 years old, still together to this day. So I was fortunate enough to have a structure. And, you know, I got plenty of butt whoopings, you know what I'm saying? And to know better, but I still did behind her back, street sneaky stuff.
What got you to North Carolina though?
But, well, my mom and them moved back down here. I got locked up in 1992. Around 5 years, I did 3 years on that. So she moved back. She moved from North Carolina when her and my father was 18 to get a better life when she graduated. So years later, they moved back in 90. Once I got sentenced, she moved back. I want to say 93. So when I got out, I had my parole switch from Maryland. I got locked up at Jessup. I had to switch to North Carolina, which is a little town that they grew up in. So I had to switch there, and you know, I knew that town was too small for me mentally, you know what I'm saying? So I sat around for about 2 months down there doing nothing, watching, said I ain't gonna touch the streets no more. And then, long story short, got back into it and I moved to Charlotte, Albemarle, then Charlotte, met a girl, moved up here to Chapel Hill, Durham, seen some guys I knew up there, and they took me to that studio. I got that building, and the rest was history. And then I started just throwing parties out there, and then I started meeting people like you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what brought me to North Carolina. But I always loved North Carolina. We used to come down here every summer. We actually wanted to move down here, but I'm glad I didn't, because a lot of things that I learned up there. And that's what I wanted to say. How you was fortunate enough to watch your father do certain things. My father wasn't fortunate enough to do that because he had to take care of his grandparents and pick cotton and all that. He didn't even get an education. My mom did. So they've been a team since then. But I could say my street friends that was like my brothers, like AZ, who wrote the Paid in Full movie. That was somebody that I looked up to. He was getting a lot of money at 16. I was probably about 10 years old, something like that. Then my other friend named Unique. But I actually watched the good parts in him. But I learned a lot of things. But he turned himself into a rapper after he got shot up and battling, beefing with Eazy-E and them. He was about to go big. So a lot of those stuff inspired me to do things. I used to go downtown to Chinatown. You could get them shirts for $20. But uptown, where we live at, them shirts with the I Love New York or the little sayings on them, uptown, them joints is $10, $15. So I go spend $20, $40. I'm coming back uptown.
And sell 'em?
I'm selling 15,
That's
20.
hustle.
Me and
That's
my boy named Baby Morph. Can't make this up. And then after I make the money, we go back to Chinatown and re-up and buy a whole bunch more, come back and go upstairs, make me some Kool-Aid, sit the Kool-Aid outside and the lemonade and selling Kool-Aid, lemonade, t-shirts.
Yeah.
And then I got into the big boy things, but we'll get into that later. This my boy out right
No,
now.
and you know, I'm used to interviewing, so I had to sneak a question in to you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sneak a question into her before I get out of here.
Okay, good to sneak one in on it.
So what else? Tell me a little bit about what you think we should be doing now with the way the school is, like the way these kids are having to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh, you talking about what is it? The virtual school?
yeah, because it's hard on parents. Then if you have the parents that have like,
Yeah, they saying the kids not even doing their work. Some
Yeah.
parents will leave the kids at home that's old enough to actually stay at home. They not doing their work.
and what about the social, part?
They saying it's
I
hard
mean-
right
aspect of
now.
it?
Yeah, I'm paying for my son to go to a private school, and he ain't even there. He online, so I'm very sore about that whole situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Because most of what I was paying was for the experience of going the way he was
Right.
going.
But my question is like, since we're always trying to help the community, yourself and as well as Bootsie and myself, what can we do, or what do you think we can do, especially here in North Carolina, to help some of these kids?
I think, like, you know, we got to lead the charge of getting back in the neighborhoods. Even though we're out the neighborhoods physically, we can't be out the neighborhoods.
Right.
We got to get back in them neighborhoods and get in front of them kids. There's a war going on with them.
Right.
And if we want to give them, we got to put that new opportunity in front of them or show them something. Somehow, some way, and it ain't on just, you know, our shoulders. We all got to do it. Everybody got to play a part of putting their hand back in there. I was in the MAC this summer, man. I pulled up. We had a 26-foot trailer full of ice cream.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And just start giving out the ice cream and start talking to the people and the kids and the inspiration, the energy. They want help, but somebody got to be there to do it for them.
I've done that before. Me and my friend, his name is Spitter, and he's one of my producers. So, you know, I knew some friends in the MAC, and I used to go through there just to check on them. I'm out there with jury on everything. He like, man, what is you crazy? Why is you out here in the MAC with jury? He's seeing how a lot of the young cats that know me from doing parties and music was coming towards me, levitate to me. We out there talking for a long time, and just enjoying. I like that, but I wasn't out there giving nothing, but I was just giving, you know, good conversation to them. But what you're saying, I definitely want to participate in doing some stuff like that. So please let us know.
Yeah, so one day I get a phone call from Dollar General. Like, I'm like, they were like, we want you to come out to the warehouse. I'm thinking, okay, whatever. So I get out there, and they have like 6 football fields, warehouse in Clayton. So they take me through the warehouse, and it's freezing in there. Like, it's a freezer, it's a refrigerator. So they give you this big jacket, you walk around. They showing me all this stuff, and I'm still not connecting the dots. So basically, they was like, look, all this food in here got an expiration date. For us to come out here and it's still fresh.
Right.
So if it might be 9 or 10 days, so it can go to somewhere else. So they was like, anything in here you could take with you.
Wow.
Like, for real, it's like, yeah, you can take it. All you gotta do is be able to take it.
Right.
Wow. So I mean,
I got 18 wheelers. We can load both of them up. Both of them.
And
we
listen,
can go to every neighborhood and drop off.
Because think about it, one thing you was just touching on, Jen, a lot of these parents got their kids still at home. That's 2 more meals to 3 more meals coming out their pocket.
Right.
That would normally come through school. So they need it, man. So if y'all got like food deserts or place that needs food, let me know. So Dollar General gives me food every week.
He does the same thing. He got some good friends that look out for him as well. That we probably can get them to donate some stuff too. So, you know, we on to something right now, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, whenever that opportunity come up again, please let me know and let me know what I need to do, because I'll take time off, I'll pay for my drivers, I'll do all that, you know what I'm saying? For that type of situation. You know how long this is 53 inch, you know how long the trailer is.
Or tell us how we can create the opportunity.
That too. Even if you can't be there, you'll still be there in essence.
Oh, we need to do a food drive, you know, through the show. Like, let's pick a spot that y'all want to go to.
I'm with you.
So every week they give me food. We actually did a project in Kinston. Of course, Durham. I stay in Durham. Raleigh, Garner, Nightdale. So, yeah, let's put something together. Sometime I guess like
shoot something down to Charlotte
by Halloween.
Too.
That'd be good.
Huntersville. You know. Hit all the other spots that probably that needed as well. So you just let us know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all about wherever we can
follow
go.
your
I'll
lead.
take the time off or whatever if I can help somebody.
Right.
If I can help someone.
But that's a plus, and get them kids something to do and look forward to. So, because really that's what it is. I'm tired of hearing about who think they can bust their gun and who's the toughest guy and everybody losing their life. For one, they get into an argument over stupid stuff over the internet. Then it's on sight when I see you. Then you kill them. Then after they kill each other, then they go turn themselves in. That don't even make sense.
Right.
They don't understand the journey they're about to go on. Some of us say, I got bond fare, but you better have lawyer fare and a long time commissary fare, because you're still gonna go to jail. So that math don't add up to me, and why they are thinking like that. Once again, our leaders are in jail, either dead, or, you know, people like us, we here, but we gonna talk to them as best as we can.
And we need to get them young, because by the time they get to
we said that last time, right?
Yeah, it's just like they're already thinking totally different by the time they get to
Okay, so check this out. So, you know, I got to do a couple things before I get out here with y'all. It's an honor to be on y'all first show.
Yeah,
it really is, man.
Yes,
y'all gonna go a lot of places with this show.
It's history.
And it's funny when you talk about me getting on the radio. The key is to me is what y'all doing now. Be yourself. Because you're never gonna be nervous being yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? My mama told me that from the very beginning because I was like, Mom, I gotta have a name when I got to the radio, and she was like, Brian Dawson. I was like, what?
Right.
She was like, yeah, that means go be you.
Right.
And once I realized that, and I just stuck with that, so that
That's
was pretty,
big.
you know, easy thing to do.
big.
But with y'all, like I gotta sneak in a couple of things I just want to get with. Let me start with you. So, from a female perspective, tell me 3 females that inspire you, like when you think of the first 3 females that come to mind, that not that you want to necessarily be like, but inspire you. Because me seeing you in front of the camera is dope. I've seen you behind. I see the entrepreneur. Who inspire you?
My mom, just because I've watched her really like just be not only my cheerleader, but watch her just like have a heart for other people. And I think that's like where my heart has come from. Like just I'm so selfless when it comes to myself. I just want to help whoever I can, and I watch my mom do that all my life. Oprah Winfrey, because I watched her triumph over a lot of obstacles and look at where she is now. And Michelle Obama, not only because of who she is now, but just watching her in her marriage. And I think she's an amazing woman.
That's dope. Okay, I'm gonna hit Boots with one, and then I got one comment that I got to get out about y'all too. All right, B, I got to hit you with this. These are questions that when I don't get a chance to ask y'all, but I'm gonna hit you with like the easy, famous one. But I want to see just gonna tell me what you thinking. I need your top 5 MCs, man. Like you're a music guy, you own labels, you rap, you work with your brother, you work with all these top artists. Top 5 artists that for whatever reason you want to categorize them. Give me your 5.
Biggie, Jay-Z, Big L, Jadakiss,
You should have asked me that.
Oh, I want to hear yours too.
and there's one more.
Hold on, say it again.
Biggie, Jay-Z, Big L, Jadakiss, and Nas.
Definitely Nas.
Yes.
What about you?
Okay, mine is Kane, Big Daddy Kane.
Just had a birthday.
Yes.
That's all you- yeah.
That's my mentor.
Yeah.
So I'm always
Yeah,
gonna
that's
give
my
him
boy.
love.
Gotta give him love.
And it's crazy with
He's definitely one of the
Kane is
best.
like, we all feel like we own Kane, because I'm about to tell y'all the same thing. Like, Kane was the one who told me when I got my radio job, I went to him, I said, Kane, I got a job on the radio. He was like, it's your time.
Right.
Yep.
And when he
That's big.
said that,
When I
Yeah,
I
that's
was
why
like,
I said
it's
he
my
Let me
mastered
tell you
it.
because Kane for real, and I know I ain't gonna take. I gotta do my 5.
MC's gonna
but
tell you he's
Kane
one of
is
the
like,
best that ever did it.
No question.
The names
Not
that
even
I,
just
the
with
names
MCs,
that I
but Kane
named.
is like a god. I don't want to say like a god, but he's
But yeah,
like
the names
a
that I-
king.
the
You
names-
understand what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like he's
exactly.
a true legend. He knows who he is,
Right.
and
Exactly.
he loves to help.
The
whoever
names
he
that
can.
I named would say that they like Kane. I'm sure.
Right.
They got
Yeah,
to.
definitely.
He's
So
before
mine
them.
would be Kane, Nas, J Cole, and Kendrick. No, KRS-One.
oh,
Okay.
Because KRS-One is
You're
like
just giving him props for being KRS-One, but yeah,
no, like
that's my boy. I like KRS-One to sign me back in the day. He was gonna give me my first deal on Paper Route. I think was his label.
I mean, we talk about lyrically.
Yeah, lyrically, KRS lyrical, but I think it was some other names probably in that category. KRS said that LL can't touch him, so that'll be a good versus battle.
yeah, that'd be a good verses right there.
Yes, it would. He said LL got no
Look,
smoke for
Kane
him.
was talking about doing verses with him since Rakim went and jumping on.
Right.
So
Rakim ain't got enough hits for KRS, I don't think.
So basketball question: who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT in basketball as of now?
Who's the GOAT?
You heard LeBron the GOAT.
all day long.
Yes, everybody know that.
Y'all must want me to shut this show down right
Yeah,
there.
shut
What are
it
y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about?
Shut it down.
He's not even the best player in the
talking
league
about
right
right
now.
now.
Oh, well, I mean the greatest of all time. Then.
Oh,
who's
the
best
greatest of
bas- yeah.
all time? Michael Jordan.
Okay.
You know that. Of all times now. I was talking about now. Yeah, MJ. Michael
Okay,
Jordan.
but y'all think LeBron is the best player in the league right now?
Right now, yes.
See, I'm biased because I love LeBron as a man too.
Right,
man.
'cause that's what I was gonna ask
all
y'all.
around.
Are y'all? Okay, because everybody thought sports coming back would be a diversion. Are y'all satisfied with the movement in terms of what the athletes been doing with the Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, I like what they doing, and you know they taking a stand for one. They ain't just going for no anything. And one commentator or coach said something way out of line, and the team wasn't ready to. They was about to quit playing for them or
So
something.
see, I think that's what they need. I think they're
Yeah.
doing well, but I think that economically we're gonna have to hit them, and I think that everybody needs to just stop playing period.
Yeah, they're saying we need to get a black league. All the basketball
You know what I'm saying?
team,
Like, I think
all
that's
the
the only
rich
way
players
it's gonna really
should
affect them.
get
Because
together.
like just for a little while, it's not gonna affect some of your wealthy people.
Right. So you think that they should get all the black rich, and even if they ain't really got to be black, they can be white with money, because there's white people that do stuff for black people too.
Yeah,
And I got a lot of
definitely.
great white genuine friends.
No question.
So everybody get together, but help create a black league and black control to give the NBA something a run for their money. Because the majority of that running up in there is black anyway, so it's like
But we don't ever want to like stand. We'll fight for a little while, but we don't stand long enough.
maybe somebody gonna have to stand up and start the process.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
what you think?
Yeah, what you think?
I mean, listen, I'm picking y'all brain. I'm enjoying listening to y'all. These are questions that I would want to ask y'all. I mean, I think it was a diversion from the movement. I really do. I hate to say that because nobody like basketball more than me. I eat, sleep, and drink
No,
the
I
sport.
know you was
Right. I'm basketball fanatic. Like, it's
Yeah,
scary
work
how
going
much I'm.
crazy. I know.
But I think it has been a diversion, but we needed that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just to be able to see the athletes get back out there, and I think it's led to the other sports.
Right.
Us taking control of our own destiny is always what it's going to be about. That's going to be the empowerment that we need.
Yeah.
I just saw on the news today in Georgia, 19 black families brought a couple hundred acres of land, and they're about to make a black movement in that like area.
That's
yeah.
powerful.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. So a lot is going on, man. It's a lot changing, and there's a lot happening from this movement. So I'm just excited, man. It's a great time to be alive.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
excited about being on the show. It's your first
So
episode. I get to
before
brag
we
on
let
that.
you go, before we let you go, I gotta ask this one last question, man. Who is the best, not best person, or your favorite interview of all time since you've been working in radio?
Man, interviews are always strange and funny for me because I've seen the whole gambit. Because I've interviewed the person like that nobody wanted to interview in the room, and then the next year that person is performing at the BET Awards, right?
Wow.
And I've interviewed somebody I dreamed of talking to before, and they don't have 3 words to say because like they really shy and quiet,
Right.
and that persona that you've seen. So I've seen it all. I would say comedians are always the most fun people to interview because they so witty and
Right.
catchy. So it's really
Right.
fun to get down with them.
Right.
It's weird because Carl Thomas did the same thing I did to y'all, which is why I did that to y'all. He turned around and started interviewing me.
Wow.
So that made me never forget him. Like
Wow.
because a lot of times celebrities come in, the mic go on, the mic come off, and then they off
Right.
to the corner. Like they don't really want to deal with you. But for him to turn around and engage back to me was always something I look forward to. I look at people who try to come down from where they are and try, you
Right.
coming in, you want me to celebrate you. Let's celebrate each other. Let's win together. But I would say my dopest one was when I did Barack.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
the
big.
cool thing about doing politicians, they got, and I never forget this, man, this is something you gotta learn. People's name is like a song. It's music to your ear.
Right.
Okay, so I'm sitting in a meeting with Adolph, remember Adolph?
Yeah, that's my boy.
And
Okay.
Magic Johnson. And somebody tells Magic Johnson my name, and for the whole 30-minute meeting, he's referring to me by my name. Brian, what you think about this? Oh, and I'm like, he keeps saying my name, he keeps saying my name. But then it dawned on me what my name meant.
Right. Exactly.
And from him saying it. So if you ever interview like a major politician, they're gonna tell that politician things about you. So Barack jumps on the phone. What's up, Brian? You still shooting ball? What's going on? I'll be back in Chapel Hill. So like he's talking to me,
big, yeah.
and I'm sitting
Yeah.
there like this guy. So
That's big.
like so he was probably that was the funnest thing because to hear him say my name meant a lot to me. So it made like me understand what interviewing people was about. It's just about listening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be like, man, I got to think of a bunch of questions, and I have a bunch of questions. They call it the Arsenio Hall thing. Arsenio, like, would be talking, Mike Tyson would be answering a question. Arsenio would pull out a piece of paper.
Right.
His next question won't even match. We didn't know where we were going. So y'all already doing it.
Right.
Let's let the conversation flow. Be conversational.
Right.
And they're going to tell you what the next question is if you're listening.
Right.
And when I learned that,
Exactly.
radio became easy.
That's what's up.
I never worried about another
Appreciate
thing.
that. So we about to take this one to the moon.
No question, man.
Here y'all got it.
Appreciate you.
My legend, my boy.
I made
my
the first
brother,
show, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Dawson.
So listen, y'all gotta have me back again, though. B.
Oh,
Y'all gotta
man,
have me
we
back,
definitely,
man.
definitely,
Okay, you gotta work it
definitely.
out.
Yeah, baby. We getting ready to go to the next level, baby.